We're now at number 11. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution to approve the execution of the grant agreement?
So move.
Is there a second?
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Parker, seconded by Pro Tem Carrington. This resolution approves the execution of a grant agreement with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, MEDC, for an award in the amount of $5 million to support a downtown initiative to pay down debt related to the Phoenix Center in the city of Pontiac. If you remember, the state of Michigan was able to successfully, the city of Pontiac was able to successfully be awarded $5 million to eliminate past debt that taxpayers of Pontiac were on the hook for related to past Phoenix Center deals and transactions. So with this action, it moves us along to being able to eliminate that debt and therefore eliminate that burden off of the backs of the taxpayers of Pontiac. This is in tandem with, but separate from, the $50 million that Oakland County is receiving from the state of Michigan for their downtown Pontiac initiatives, including the purchasing of the buildings and demolition of parking structures and construction of parking structures. And you'll notice that the next resolution is related to this same action as well. So, on the current resolution before us, Deputy Mayor Stevens, further information for council.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to thank the council for allowing this item to be added to the agenda. We know we got it to you a little bit later than we normally would have. However, we were working with the MEDC to amend the original agreement that they had sent to us. For those of you who don't know, the MEDC, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, their main function is to work in economic development. So they work generally when they give out grants and awards, they're giving them out to businesses, and their standard grant agreement is we will give you half of the money now, and we will give you half of the money once you actually complete the project as noted. We had to work with them to change their standard agreement so that we could get all of the money so that we could actually do the project. This is a project that was not able to be done in two pieces. And so I really just want to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out to the MEDC for being responsive and working with us, but an even greater shout out to the city's legal director and the city's grants director for being on top of this, catching it as soon as it came in, and being on the phone with MEDC nonstop until they were able to actually get this updated so that we can get it to you. And the reason why time is of the essence is that if we can get all of this done in a timely manner, the city will be able to avoid additional interest on that loan that we will be paying off, and we will be able to avoid going through the process of procuring another letter of credit, which is part of the requirement of our loan. So again, thank you to our legal director, thank you to our grants director, and hopefully this will be passed tonight. Thank you.
Further discussion before us. Councilman James.
I just want to clarify that with this $5 million, that totally pays off the debt, right?
That is correct.
Okay, if we get this done before additional charges are added, this will completely close out the Phoenix Center debt.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's right. So in February of 2021, the city had executed a promissory note to an entity promising to pay the principal sum of $5,600,000. This loan was acquired by the city as part of the purchase of the Phoenix Center parking garage. The city has been making payments on this loan as indicated in the loan amortization schedule. So a few $100,000 has already been directly paid out of the taxpayers' coffers. This prevents that from, on a monthly basis of up to $80,000 a month, from being able to further incurred. So we have said this multiple times, but I want to say it again. Thank you and bless you to State Senator Moss, State Representative Carter, Speaker of the House Joe Tate, and we delivered this message yesterday when he was in Pontiac for Martin Luther King Day, and then ultimately Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who with her signature on the budget made this possible. And that's why it's coming before us today. The state budget, new session started in the late fall, and then they worked their way through the process. We cannot thank the Grants and Philanthropy Department enough. We cannot thank, I'm glad to hear that the law director, new to the team as well, their thorough review of contracts is also proving to be an asset So thank you so much to everyone that's involved. As you're hearing, being swift and shrewd about it is protecting us even more, so that way we're not on the hook for another month or another $22,000 of interest or another promissory note just to make our way to the next phase or cycle. So what a godsend to be able to extract ourselves from this financial burden. Very big deal.
There is one other item that the grants director did remind me to point out to you. Normally, we would have two different items. You would have receiving of the grant, and then you would also have a separate thing once we receive the grant to execute the grant. Because time is of the essence, all of that is included in the therefore now be it resolved. So I just wanted to point out clearly that once we agree to receive the grant, we also are in the now for there in the therefore be it resolved stating and to take any action required to execute the deliverables of the grant funded project, which means that you are actually authorizing us to make that payment once we receive this money.
Right. Thank you. Further discussion on the motion before us? Hearing no further discussion, speakers list is exhausted. Roll call, Clerk Doyle, on the resolution to approve the execution of a grant agreement with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation for an award in the amount of $5 million to support a downtown initiative to pay down debt related to the Phoenix Center in the city of Pontiac.
Parker,
Yes.
Carrington,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
5 yeas, no nays.
That motion carries. The resolution is adopted, and thank you again, Madam Director, and your team. Number 12,